Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Make 2019 Your Year. This evening, Yehuda Ashkenazi and myself, Miriam, for those of you that don't know me, will share with you how to tackle this year challenges and opportunities in the best way, using wisdom that's coming from two different but also similar approaches. I'm going to share a lot of what's happening cosmically, astrologically, what's expected to happen this year, and how this energy can support us spiritually. And Yehuda would also add the Kabbalistic element and give us more deep consciousness on how to really take it to a deeper place and even a more personal place. So this is our goal tonight. And the way that we decided to do it is we're splitting the evening to three main parts of three main cosmic events that are happening. Some of them already started, or some of them going to start soon in the upcoming year that will influence all of us. And what we're doing also, we're going to have different parts where you can all take the time, and after you hear the wisdom, you hear the information, you hear the Kabbalistic consciousness, you'll be able to reflect on your own life. And what we hope is that at the end of this class, you will come out with a booklet that will support you throughout the year. It will be a good reminder. It will also be mentioned here certain times for certain things that are happening that we're going to talk about it as well. So that's the idea, is to make it personal. That it's not just information that you take the notes, but it's something that you're clear on how to apply it in your life. So this is what's happening today. Did you ever hear about the overview effect? Anybody heard about the overview effect? So an overview effect is mental clarity that people can get to when they are able to see a bigger picture that helps them to transform spiritually and to gain like greater consciousness and awareness. We talk about it in Kabbalah a lot. But this term specifically is mentioned when astronauts go for the first time out of Earth and they experience seeing Earth from the outside, like a little blue dot. And their experience of being able to see that and to have a different perspective, no national boundaries, right? No conflicts, nothing exists in space, help them to gain the clarity and the consciousness and the awareness that when they come back to Earth, it says that many of them, live a more spiritual life. They get involved in greater causes to save the planet. And this is something that in a certain level we want us all to achieve tonight, to gain this overview effect, that we can connect to a bigger picture that will allow us to see how to utilize everything that's happening in the cosmos in the best way, that we're really going to have the best year. And this year is actually a potential to be the best year ever for everyone, and for humanity as well. You can learn astrology from different point of views and, traditional astrology, but the idea is that at the end of the day, we control our life. The Rav is always saying that, what astrology is able to provide us, it's like a navigation map that we're looking at it and we can discover all the different routes, and we choose which route we want to get in order to get to our destination. So it's important to know that it doesn't control us. The energy that we're going to discover tonight, it's not something that, that's because Uranus is in Taurus. That's because, no. We have the tools, we're going to get the wisdom to help us to overcome whatever stands in our way and how to utilize the positive parts of it. So let's move on to the first part of this evening and the first cosmic event that we're going to speak about. And what we're talking about this year is about the idea of the point of tikkun and karma that actually shifted maybe like a month ago. And when we're talking about the point of tikkun and karma, for those of you that did their charts or were involved in studying astrology in the center, when we look at your chart, there is a point where you can see what is your tikkun. Every year and a half, the point of tikkun is changing. Every year and a half, the babies that are born in this time have a mutual tikkun, a generational tikkun, which tells them what type of energy they should focus on throughout their life, positive energy that can help them and assist them in doing their correction, in accomplishing their spiritual journey in a much easier way. And that's happened every year and a half. Now, whenever the points of tikkun and karma, we're talking about the things that we actually need to try to avoid, and the tikkun is what we need to actually do, the positive attributes that we need to acquire in that time. So every year and a half it's changing. It's recently changed, and it sends a message to all of us. The change that happened this year is that the tikkun right now is in Cancer. So it's called astrologically also the North Node, if you heard about this word. The North Node is in Cancer, and the South Node is in Capricorn. So it means for all of us this year, we need to learn to be more like Cancers, and we need to try to avoid the negative, the weaknesses that Capricorns might have. Now, this year, we have few other planets very strong on Capricorn. Now, what Capricorn means, I'll say it briefly because we're going to bring Yehuda to speak about the consciousness of it. But Capricorns is about work, goals. You know, getting to the end. We go, we don't see what's happening around us. Very goal-oriented, hard workers, not always seeing who's around you, sometimes stepping on people in the way, sometimes detached from their emotions. Everything is okay because the most important thing is achieving what you need to achieve. And Cancer bring into the picture, and this is the type of year, the energy that we need to feel, is the idea of feelings, emotions, connecting to the idea of nurturing others, being sensitive to others, human dignity in the process. So this is the type of energy that needs to be applied this year. Now, how do we do that, and what we should focus on? I would like to call Yehuda.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So let's take a deep breath. Yes, it's very important to breathe, and especially in this coming year. There are many definitions for spiritual growth. We're all involved in spiritual work. What is your indication that you really grow spiritually? How one can measure their growth in a spiritual level? Kabbalistically, there are few ways, and one of the ways that I want to talk about regarding what Miriam mentioned, that this year the correction, the tikkun, moved into the sign of Cancer. One way you can measure your spiritual transformation and growth is in your capability to feel other people. We call it empathy. The majority of the time, the way we understand life is through the head. If someone would come and would share with another a painful moment that they're going through, in the majority of the times, the other individual would say, I understand what you're going through. Understanding what I'm going through is not going to help me. If you're not able to feel what I'm going through, you will not be capable to help me. So as spiritual individuals, we want to grow into a place of adding greater value to the people around us, starting with our family, our community, and the world. In order to be able to add greater value, what we want to focus on in general is to find ways to grow our ability to feel each other. This year, the universe is going to help all of us. It says that the longest distance in the world is the 18 inches between the head and the heart. If we had to this point of our life, whatever it is, 20, 30 years, 70 years of life, moving in this direction of trying to reach out from the head to the heart in our pace, the Kabbalists call it be'ita. Take your time, do your work. This year, the universe is not going to give you time to do this work. The universe is going to push each one of us into this direction to maximize in a new way our capacity and our capability to feel others. Why? Because in the end of the day, operating from our heart, our ability to operate and to feel life and people and situations, it is the access to penetrate through all the concealment of this physical illusionary reality, to be able to see behind the curtain, behind what is not letting me seeing what other people really feel. This year, you don't want to approach the year by, I want to understand you. This year, you want to get yourself at least to awaken proactively this desire. I want to start to feel in much deeper way people around me. There is a story my teacher Karen Berg shared that I think just in few minutes can give us a deeper perspective into this idea. And again, we're sitting and designing this seminar, and we decided about the three spiritual focuses that we would take for ourselves that we want to share with you guys, because there are so many things happening as far as the year. But this is the first idea, bridging from the brain, from the mind, into start operating from the heart. The story is about a king. There was a time that there was a try for revolution by some people, and the people who tried to manifest this revolution, their plan was, first of all, to kill the king. They were chasing after the king, and the king ran away from his kingdom, from his city. And when he realized that they're just behind him, he entered into a tailor shop. And he told the tailor, the man that was in this store, he knew that he is the king. He told him, I need to hide. There are people trying to kill me. And the tailor obviously guided the king to hide under a pile of clothing so they will not be able to find the king. When the soldiers, those people, entered to the shop, they stabbed with their sword the pile where the king was, and they missed the king in just a few inches. And then they left. After they left, the king came out and told the tailor, thank you so much for saving my life. And because you saved my life, I trust, first of all, that the revolution will fail and I'll be back to my kingdom. And because you saved my life, I want to grant 3 wishes, whatever you want. So the tailor said, my first wish is that the king will announce about a national tailor day. The king said, granted. The second wish is that the king will double the salary of all the tailors in the kingdom. The king said, 100%. And before the tailor continued with the third wish, the tailor stopped and looked at the king and said, before I'm telling you the third one, if it is okay, I want to ask you a question. And the king said, of course. And the tailor asked the king, how did it feel as a king to hide behind the pile of the clothing while those people tried to kill you? How did it feel to you? And the king looked at him and he said, do you question the emotions of the king? How dare you? As they're in this moment of conversation, the soldiers of the king entered. And they told the king that they capture all the people who tried to create the revolution, so the king is safe to go back. So the king told his soldiers to take into prison the tailor. And as they back to the kingdom and the tailor is in the prison, the king told the tailor that he just put a death sentence on him. And the tailor didn't understand why he was shaking and so afraid, and they took him out to execute him, and they put the rope around his neck, and he's crying and begging, and the king is there looking at him. And just a moment before they hanged the tailor, the king said, that's it, release him. And they released him. And the tailor came and looked at the king, said, "Thank you for releasing me, but what is it about? Why did you do that?" And the king looked at him and said, "How did it feel to be in this position?" "This is how I felt." We can try to explain people what we feel, but it doesn't matter what words we will try to use. None of us is truly capable to feel other people from the head. This is the year of the correction of Cancer, which is a force that the universe will drive each one of us to wake up. To wake up. We have a gift that most of the creation, the other parts of creation don't have, that we don't utilize enough, which is our heart. What do we want to do? What is the spiritual direction that we can take? And there are many ways, again, that one can work on opening the heart. There are many meditations, there are Zohar sections to read and to meditate, to open up, again, the heart chakra, the energy of the heart, to be able to feel more people and our process and life. However, one of the most powerful ways, beside of all the powerful meditations that one can use, and there are ways that you can get those type of meditations from the Zohar, those of you using the Zohar, especially the Zohar, because it's the most powerful tool that we use to help us to bridge from the mind into the heart. When the moment will come that the universe will present for you an opportunity to help somebody, and now you need to bridge from your mind into your heart, who knows if you are going even to remember that. We don't trust that at the moment when the universe will present the opportunity, I will really be there. I will remember what I need to do, and I will remind myself that approaching again the situation from my mind will not bring any energy or solution, a real solution. I'm not capable to create a real transformation when I'm in my head. I have to bridge into my heart. What can we do in order to at least build up an energy to be there more? If you think about one or two or three things that helping you personally to connect to your heart, what are they? I can tell you for me, there are many things. Music is one of the ways. I know when I create music, when I play music, when I listen to music, it's one instrument that helps me to right away to bridge into my heart. It might be for some of you the same with music. Some of you might be in a moment of a creative work in a different direction. Creativity opens your heart. For some people, it will be kids. When you're around kids, it opens your heart. For some of you, it will be meditations. What are the things that helping you to open the heart? Probably most of us don't invest enough time in those things. Now, if you want to create a kind of a reservoir of inner power and energy to be able, in the situation that will come throughout the year, to operate more from the heart, don't wait for the moment to come. Start to train that energy to be awakened in you. You know what opens your heart. Get yourself more to be involved in this type of a work. Not just once in a while when you feel it and when the opportunity comes, and most of the time our mind tells us you don't have the time for it. No, this is the most important in this year as the first point that we share. Invest in yourself in this direction. I want to give you a few minutes now. First thing to do is to write down for yourself kind of a reminder. What are the things in your life that helping you to feel, to open your heart? Creative work, music, kids, meditations, swimming, going to the nature, whatever it is. What is it for you? Make a little commitment for yourself from tonight that this coming year, it is not going to be every 4 months reminding yourself, oh, I didn't go to the beach, or I didn't do my meditation, or I didn't invest in this direction. Make a plan for yourself. If not every day, to do something that is relating to this type of work, at least once a week. So this is the first thing I want to give you time, again, just to write down for yourself. The second thing, you have it in the booklets. Yes. The second thing is just reflecting on an area of your life where you believe you can increase. I don't like the word should. So I would change it can, because it's not that you should do. But when you realize that you have a new capacity of expansion, so reflect on an area of your life where you believe you can increase the level of your care and sensitivity and human dignity and patience and kindness and all these traits that are helping to bridge and to operate from the heart. Okay? So we'll give you a few minutes just to write down for your own journey and for your own coming year, and then we'll continue to the next point. Okay?